Hello and welcome to another episode of 4 Wales, See Wales with me, Robin Morgan.
Me, Mel Owen.
Me, Will Hayward.
We're back.
We're back.
We're not in the Senedd. We are in the studio. But what a great ep, or two eps.
2 eps, a bumper double episode. It was really lovely. Thank you for all the lovely comments about it. A lot of people saying how, again, like the first one, people really enjoying the fact we just sort of wind up the Senedd members and let them go. Release them, talk about what they want to talk about, which is quite a nice way of hearing from our elected representatives.
Yeah, and quite a lot of the comments, I noticed a pattern of being like, oh, I don't necessarily like this party, but I really like what this person had to say, which I think is a really interesting time to pick that up at this, just before the election.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it is actually important to have these long form chats with politicians, because not every politician in the Senedd is going on the news. Do you know what I mean? It's only like...
Nor should they.
No, exactly. And there's a reason for that. Speaking of, there was one that didn't make the poll.
I know.
So I felt really bad about this. So basically, when we put out to all the MSs that we're doing this, we basically say it's kind of open season. You come down first, come first served. And David Rees from Port Talbot, Labour MS, waited probably about 40 minutes.
And he let other people go before him as well.
They had other appointments and stuff. Just as his bit started, some people started singing.
It was a choir. It was like some people.
Yeah.
It's a flash mob.
Yeah.
It was a good
James
choir.
Evans.
Yeah.
It was to commemorate women who've represented Wales inside the Senedd.
Yeah.
It was really, really great event. And then there was other noise going on because they all started having a
lunch,
buffet
didn't
nearby.
they? Yeah.
So
Which smelt incredible, by the way.
a big shout out to David.
The caterers.
A big shout out to the caterers. A big shout out to David Rees, because he's a representative of Port Talbot. He's a real advocate for that area, and he has been a really useful person to talk to for contextualising the challenges in Port Talbot with the steelworks. So apologies to him. I mean, he's third on the list. We don't know if he'll get in. But if he does, we'll have him back on. In fact, if he doesn't, we'll have him back on.
Well, that was such a close to being a nice
I know.
apology,
Yeah.
and then you really just punched him at the end.
We'll commission a choir to sing you a song.
Oh my gosh, yes, at the count.
He, this is not the shout out we intended to.
No.
But oh my god, so we've had basically 2 weeks apart. It's for 12 days, and oh my god, so much has happened. We've had Reform announcing candidates, we've had candidates leaving Reform, we've had polling, we've had a Labour manifesto. As we speak right now, the Greens are unveiling their manifesto. Let's get into it. It's juicy. So inside the Welsh Parliament, we were talking about that new polling that had just come out, and we got the headline figures. And what we now can do is go underneath that data, and we can talk about what it's telling us, because Jack Larner from Wales Governance Centre, who has been everywhere on social media and TV recently, and he is excellent. They also do a blog, the Wales Governance Centre, so if you give that a Google, you'll be able to check it out, and you'll get some live updates of what sort of stuff they're looking at. But this is some of the analysis. So the first is it worth me just giving you those headline figures for...
Why not?
Again? So Plaid Cymru, 33%, Reform, 27%, Labour 13, Greens 12, Conservative 7, Lib Dems 5. Mm-hmm. So Lib Dems get completely wiped out. Conservatives are just Darren Miller.
And a croissant.
And a delicious croissant. Labour only have 11 seats. Greens only have 10. Plaid up on 41. Reform on 31. Now, where is everyone going? Because what is weird about this, the Tories and Labour combined have 20% of the vote share.
Yeah.
Which is mad in like a UK context.
Yeah.
So the Tories, of the people who voted for the Tories in 2024, which let's not forget was a terrible result where they got wiped out in Wales in the Westminster election. Now just 35% of people who voted for them then are still voting for them.
Oh, 35% of the already few people.
45% are going to Reform.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
Well, yeah, 45% of their bloody candidates have gone to Reform as well.
Also, with Labour, only 35% of their voters are staying and 41% are going to Plaid. So in total, of former Labour voters, 51% are going to either Plaid or the Greens.
So, and the other bits of the percentage, where are those Conservative voters? Are they just not voting? Are they going to sort of Lib Dems? Do we know anything about that?
Most have gone to Reform. Some will have died. And that leads us neatly on to...
Wow, what a link. Can't wait for what we're going to the new sponsor, Co-op Funeral Care.
I always worried about my feet. Oh, we should.
Oh, I love those stuff. I love those adverts where it's just
In the
like,
daytime.
we should really think about writing a will.
Yeah.
We should, darling. We should do those.
But I
You
don't
get
want
a free
my.
Parker pen.
Oh, yeah, they love a pocket.
I don't want my fan, and it's usually Michael Parkinson who's selling
Yeah.
it.
Is he still alive? Is he?
He can never die because he's done so many adverts.
This is true.
Oh, he'll die this week now.
Oh, yeah, we won't be able to.
If
do
this
whole
comes out
episode.
before,
Yeah.
Actually, would it be worth it came out just after? Anyway, age of voters. So
Yeah.
I want to talk you through the average age of a voter for each party.
Okay.
Okay, can we just, for the sake of this, how old is Michael Parkinson so we can work out who he'd vote for?
I think he is 87 years old.
Oh, okay, I'm going to go 83.
He's 88.
Oh, so close.
I win, Parky.
Yeah, you do.
I'll get a pen.
So he's 88. So my guess would be that he'd be most likely to be voting Conservative.
I think he would be.
He would be.
Yeah.
So the average age of a Conservative, this is the average. This isn't like an upper limit. The average Conservative voter is 67.
Don't. I hate
Did you
that.
just do the 6-7
I did
thing?
6-7 for the video listeners only.
I'm not 100% sure what that is still.
I don't-
Normally, do you know
no
what?
one
It's,
does.
nobody does.
Nobody does.
Good.
Now, so Reform, the people who are leaving the choice to go to Reform,
Younger, cooler, sexy,
well,
hip,
they are below average Conservative voters in terms of age.
and candidates.
But bear in mind, to be a below average Conservative voter, you can be 66.
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
So Reform aren't
okay.
just hoovering up the young votes; they're hoovering
Yeah.
up the young
Well, we
Tories.
talk about this, don't we? We talk about young men loving Farage.
It does feel like that, though. It does feel like a younger vote, you know?
Well, Reform are the next oldest group with the average age of 55.
Oh, okay. That's
Chickens, spring chickens.
We've then got the Lib Dems, average age 52.
No, that doesn't surprise me, actually.
Labour and Plaid are the same, average age 47.
Right.
And the Greens are 44.
Okay, is anybody under 40 voting?
Well, 44 is quite young, because if you think about it,
If
no
it is
one's
the
voting
average.
until they're 16. So,
Right,
so
okay.
they've only got kind of like 30 years below that who can vote, and there's kind of 40 years above it. So the Greens massively skew younger. This is also kind of reflected in the level of education of voters. Now, part of this will just be because of age, because older people are less likely to have gone to university.
Right.
Fewer people did. 50% of Green voters went to university, compared to just 21% of Conservative voters. Now, but bearing in mind, most Conservative voters were probably born in 1950.
Yeah, it just wasn't
Yeah.
as normal to go to uni.
What is really interesting is women. So the
Women, they're just interesting
I'm
to
just
me.
interested
Discuss.
in women. Women are interesting.
Thank you.
I'd like to draw attention to the percentage of voters which are men and which are women. So most parties, it's around 50-50. 50% men, 50% women. So Labour, 53% women. Lib Dems, 53% women. Plaid, 49% women. Conservatives, 49% women. Greens, 60% women.
Interesting.
Much higher. Reform, 42% women.
Okay.
What is quite interesting is how this was modelled by I'll say the lovely men, the boffins at Cardiff University. They looked at the lists that all the parties have put forward, and they extrapolated this poll to work out how many men and women would be in the Senedd. Based on this, there would be... Now, this only adds up to 95, not 96. Just it's because the list at the time of the analysis hadn't been announced. There would be 50 men and 45 women. So near parity.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, we're going to put this on the YouTube. Daryl, please.
My dad on the YouTubes.
YouTube.
So as you can see,
Yeah.
this is the top bar is the amount of women for each party, and the bottom one is the amount of men. So Plaid would have 27 women, whereas Reform would have 9. That's 9 Reform women compared to 21 Reform men. Plaid is 27 women to 16 men. Labour pretty much even. Greens 6 men to 3 women, and then Darren Miller.
Yeah, 100% men in the Conservatives.
A gender-neutral tree.
Yeah,
will be standing for the Tories.
Not very
And
gender neutral.
Am I right in thinking about in this new Senedd with the 96 candidates, they are, because they're sort of not, they're building it at the moment, aren't they? They're sort of reconstructing it. Am I right in thinking that the boys have to go on one side and the girls on the other, like a barn dance?
It's a very Year 7 disco.
Yeah, that's what
Wonderful.
I thought. Okay, great.
Yes.
And
the boys start knee sliding.
Yeah.
Did that ever work for you? Did a guy ever?
Did anyone knee slide into my heart? Not really.
I'm glad you said heart.
Knee first. It's an interesting method. Continue, William.
So what would be very interesting about this is the fact that we could end up with essentially a Welsh Parliament which is full of left-wing women against lots of right-wing men.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that just the world?
Yeah, well, they'll handle that well, the right-wing men, right?
They'll love that. They will be very mentally balanced about that.
Yeah.
They'll be very reasonable and unemotional and logical about it. They actually will.
Do you know, I'm going to go on a limb and say that some of them will bloody love it behind closed doors.
Or there is that idea that sort of, 20 years ago, the Conservatives loved having female, they loved, what did they call Thatcher? They called her like...
Mummy.
They called her mummy, right? I think so. They like this
Producer
sort of...
Daryl and Mel just made the same face.
They like this sort of like matron-esque thing. So.
Yeah. It is a really interesting split, actually. And also the type of, and I don't want to generalise because I don't know these men personally, but the men who will be elected for reform, just given their general morals and beliefs in the world, I just don't imagine they're full of respect for women. Like I said, I don't know them. That's just a vibe I'm going off. But if your party does say the kind of things that they are, then I'm allowed an opinion.
Well, Mel, I think it's pretty fair for you to say we don't know them because Reform actually don't know all of them at this point because so many have left. That leads us on very neatly to Reform's new candidates.
That was a great link.
That was good.
God, he's good.
For a man.
So not just my team, but also some plucky young reporters, Kay Page, Joseph Goff and Jack Davis, were very instrumental in putting this together because we've had all the other candidates, well, most of the other candidates for parties, the major parties, for, well, in case of Polite, like 9 months. So we've had time to go through them. So we had a little look through Reform. One of them had stepped down within a couple of days. This was Corey Edwards. Did you see this was the guy?
The Nazi salute guy.
Yeah, the guy who surfaced.
What? Wow, I'm shocked.
Sure.
I am shook. I'm glad I was sat down when I saw that news. A Reform candidate was pictured, and I assume it was a joke, pulling a Nazi salute. Wow.
He said that he had made mistakes. It was from 2019, and that his dear grandfather fought against the Nazis.
Well, you didn't, Corey. I'm sorry, my grandfather's a farmer. I'm not. What the fuck does that mean?
2019 is a very funny time to defend that because that's so recent. That is so recent.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday. Okay,
Yeah,
I've learned. I've grown.
It's very funny. It took me until 2020 to learn how bad the Nazis were.
Yeah. What? Okay, Corey, go on.
So there's been actually 4 candidates step down at time of recording.
And it was all quite quick, wasn't it? It was all quite, successive days almost.
It was. So, do you remember Dr. Squeegee?
Yeah.
So
how could I forget?
So Dr. Squeezy.
Squeezy. Oh, we caught sight of him in the Senedd.
He did.
It was very exciting. There was a sort of excitement.
It was weird because he can't get enough of talking to me on social media, but in person he seemed to go away. Well, it's a pity. We'd genuinely love to have had him on. He has responded saying that he would like to do an interview with me and to send him an email. And I've sent him an email. I haven't had a response yet, but I imagine he is busy trawling through the resignation messages he's getting. So he actually tweeted saying, despite the Welsh media bloggers' best attempts to fake otherwise, I don't think he means me. Probably not. I'm an actual journalist. He said, the unity of Reform UK is very real. Nobody can stop what is coming in May. We are one. Now, let's just show how...
Does he mean the bank holiday?
Or does he mean that
Coming
there's
in
literally
May.
just one of them left?
Here we are, one. One what? Squeeze.
So Patrick Benham Croswell, who was standing in Swansea, he stepped down. He did a very lengthy statement. I'm going to condense it a bit. But he said, having been an active member of Reform since it was founded, and the Brexit Party before that, it was with some sadness that I resign. In truth, Reform has left me.
No.
Justice Patrick. The party I joined and helped build had a clear vision for how to solve our country's problems.
Broken Britain. Broken.
Better politicians who care more about the people they serve than their careers. That's how we fought the 2024 general election, winning 14% of the vote across the UK. In Swansea, I came second with 17.5% of the vote. The professionalisation of the party has led it to take its members and candidates for granted. Communication that once began, thank you, now starts with, you are required to. The party's employees in Millbank forgot that branch office and candidates are unpaid volunteers. Some will call my resignation petulance or sour grapes at my lowly placing on the list. 5th to an ex-Tory on the make and 3 novices. That rankles. That rankles, but is confirmed to me what I feared. Reform is no longer open and honest. Politics is a dirty game, but reform has sunk deep into the sewer where it once should have been a beacon of decency.
Does he think he's Batman?
A beacon of decency. It goes on.
I'm not going to keep going on
No,
because
please.
he certainly does. But it says that reform has betrayed the early vision.
Can I rarely play this card, but can I just say, I called this so hard in our predictions episode. I said, their egos will get in the way of their own success, right?
And dissenting Conservatives taking the place of these people,
Exactly.
the rank and file. The novices is very funny.
These novices.
These novices.
It's noobs.
Yeah, and also, and like he's been around for 30 years.
Who are the novices? Are they sort of? I have the idea. You know, outside Home Bargains, you've got the stencil of the police officer who goes in and out of the windows. I imagine they've chosen a few of those. Law and order.
So he was running in Swansea. There's the real exodus has come in the Bridgend and Vale of Glamorgan seat, where 3 of the 6 have stepped down. So the first one was the man who did the Nazi salute.
And Farage defended him initially, right?
Yeah, and I think this is really
which
important.
is interesting.
On Cameo or not?
Yeah, he didn't get paid for this.
No.
This is pro bono.
Yeah, he got paid by Corey Edwards to say, I support.
That's so funny if that's how you get
Can you imagine? I paid him 80 quid to endorse me. So he initially came out and said, people make mistakes. And he defended. And then Mr. Edwards himself stepped down, citing his mental health and request to be kind of given some space. Farage defended it. They stuck with it.
Yeah.
And this, I think, really rankled some of the people who were below him in the list because they felt like this guy had been parachuted in. He was a former special advisor to David T.C. Davis of the Conservatives.
Can I also just raise the fact that it is so contradictory, and I think we might have discussed this before, like the same people who are like, rule Britannia, let's not forget the veterans, this, that and the other, who was so like, let's remember what we were fighting against, and then defending a guy doing a Nazi salute.
Yeah.
Like... Where's the cake?
The amount of people on those kind of like Tommy Robinson riots who had Nazi tattoos and were doing salutes and stuff.
Like, do you understand what that is?
No, I don't think they do.
Do you know? You know?
It's
How dare you not fucking wear a poppy? But my God,
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with this man who did a Nazi salute.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. The math ain't mathin'.
Yeah.
So one of the other councillors on that list, Owen Clatworthy, who had been reported as after he became a Reform councillor, tried to immediately defect to Labour, quit the party, citing poor internal decision-making and significant concerns around candidate selection. And he was quick to say, this is not driven by internal grievance and the fact that I'm 5th on the list. It's nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with
5th
that.
is really annoying people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really. It's not quite last.
No.
Because last would be summon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
sure.
okay, fair enough. It's like the pub quiz that I go to. If you come last, you get a packet of crisps.
Oh, that's funny.
That's nice. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, cool. It's still worth. You kind of like, oh, go on. I'd rather be that.
And then you do some joke answers.
Lovely. Yeah.
I wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just realised he actually was bottom of the list.
Oh.
Emma Clatworthy was 5th.
Why?
All that
Wait,
good shit.
who?
Emma Clatworthy,
Are they related?
They have to be.
I believe so.
These Nepo reforms.
Getting leg ups to be 6th on the list. Let me just say, so Mr. Clatworthy, after stepping down, he started retweeting people like Jason O'Connell, who is a leading candidate for Reform and works for Lauren Jones, saying, Jason, like far too many others in Reform, is not motivated by the valleys or your families. They are motivated by the Senedd salary, the perks, the pension, the title, and protecting their own power, money, self-interest. Bear in mind, 4 days before this, he was saying, I'm so proud to be announced as a Reform candidate.
when you've got all of these people all wanting to be a rock star in the same place and all not... This is the problem, I think, with such a young party as well. You know, like, you'll have people who so wholeheartedly believe in the Labour cause, who so wholeheartedly believe in conservatism, that they know that it's not about them, it's about the party, it's about this. You don't have that with Reform, because we actually don't know what they stand for either. So how are they going to...
So many of them have cited their religious beliefs as part of leaving. Now, Owen said that he didn't enter politics for a career, but truth and integrity come first. And he's actually thrown his considerable political weight against behind another candidate. And he tweeted, "As Reform have left myself and many others with no real choice, I'm pleased to announce my full endorsement of Andrew R.T. Davies. There is no doubt he will be a strong, credible and effective voice in the Senate."
Wow.
I forgot about RT.
Yeah, he's been laying low, isn't
The thing
he?
is, RT is top of the Tory list in that area, so all of this, RT might come back. He might make it back in. It might just be him and Darren Miller.
So...
And he still won't be leader, bless him.
Yeah. So this guy who is sixth in the list, at what point, you know that he said that he was happy to be announced, delighted, super proud. Would he have known where he was in the list when he posted that? Or okay, so you're going to be sixth, and he's like, great, I'll do the statement, and then he's gone, actually, no.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's really fascinating.
I think the fact he was sick, and then within 24 hours, the person who'd been put top of the list was revealed to have a picture of him doing a Nazi salute and be kept and was supported
to this guy.
Yeah, and was supported by Farage.
You know, when we go into the polling booth and we see, you know, say for example, Reform, and then we see the 6 candidates' names underneath that in order. I've been reading my leaflet that came with my poll card.
Lovely.
Has that already been printed? What are they going to do? Are they going to do TBC?
So the deadline, parties have until 4 p.m. on April the 9th. So 4 p.m. the day this comes out to finalise their lists. We should say that it's not just Reform who's had a candidate step down. Plaid Cymru also had someone step down. Which was an unusual thing for someone to say. So Neil Roberts, who was 4th on Plaid lists in Cardiff Penarth, stepped down last week after a Twitter post from 2021 came to light. So somebody had tweeted saying, "I'm very against people having kids just for the sake of it. Don't have children if you're not capable of raising them." Neil replied, "Cum pets are for life, not just for Christmas."
I don't
gross.
There's nothing to say about cum pets.
I mean,
2021. I mean, it was so long ago. So long ago.
Everyone was referring to kids as cum pets in fucking 2021.
They all were. It was common vernacular then.
That's revolting.
It's a bit minging, isn't it?
So where
it is. It's just like it's not
a really, really shit joke that someone who's 16 would say and think they're edgy.
Drink with him, would you?
No, absolutely not. And also, it's just like, is this who we want representing the public? You know,
is this one of the 6 best people you had in the area to go for? Because the issue with having to choose 6 candidates from each party is, you know, we've talked about the level of political sort of talent in this country. You are sometimes scraping the barrel, right?
Yeah, I mean, he said in a statement, "Years ago I made a comment using online slang."
No. What year again?
2021. It's
not.
It's not common vernacular.
No.
Years ago, I made a comment using online slang that was inappropriate and crude.
Sure.
The language I used was wrong, and I take full responsibility for it. I apologise unreservedly for the offence and concern it has caused. I recognise that those seeking public office have a responsibility to promote respectful and constructive debate. This is something I have sought to do since entering politics, and I will continue to strive forwards. However, I do not want to detract from the campaign or from the issue that matters to our community. I am therefore stepping down as a candidate. I wish the party and its candidate the very best in its historic campaign ahead.
It's very difficult for him to be on the doorstep talking to people and they know that he has said that. It's hard for Plaid to back him.
Hard to chat about your childcare offer.
Especially when someone is young. I don't like going back through the social media, because I think I was lucky to be 17. I don't know what he was in this. I'm not saying this is acceptable, but I was lucky enough to be 16, 17 when there wasn't really internet took so long to load. You wouldn't do that.
We were one of the last sort of generations, I think, to sort of, I reckon your generation sort of got much younger than we did.
I worry.
But ultimately, this is you're going for public office, and the standards in public office should be really high, and that's a pretty gross comment to make. And also, why the hell are you not scrubbing your social media when you're running?
Well, that's
it's mad,
the
isn't
thing.
it?
Wouldn't you just scrub it first? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you can't do that, how am I going to trust you with our public services?
So when we were going through the social media of all parties, candidates, we found there was a couple of Reform, there was one Labour, there was one Plaid, who we saw stuff, and I was like, if they tweeted that right now, that would be a story. But one of the Reform ones, it was like 2012, and it wasn't horrifically racist or anything like that. It was just a bit like, ugh, God. You know, if you heard someone say that in a pub, you'd be like, they're a prick. But we felt like it's 14 years. They were very young when they said it, so we didn't report it. We did go through one guy's who has not got the excuse that he did it when he was young. So there's a guy called Paul Campbell who is on the list for Reform in Cardiff, Penarth, and he works as an Elvis impersonator. And we went through his social media, and he had a lot of pictures of him dressed as Elvis.
Great.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, wonderful.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
It's very big of you.
Yeah, and like
I find it offensive, personally, but carry on.
yeah, his entire like program for government is just a little less conversation, a little more action.
Lovely stuff.
Oh, wonderful.
I hate actually because if I wasn't with two professional comedians, people would have enjoyed that. But with you two, you're just
You rushed it. You got nervous halfway through.
Not that how funny the joke was, but you went, actually, it was the technique of it.
Oh yeah, the writing really. We've all
fine.
been there. The writing is good, but then you perform it on the night and you let yourself down.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
But try it
Thank you.
try it 3 times. That's what
we do.
As a new joke.
The next 2 episodes, do it again. Sorry, Elvis.
So I went through Paul Campbell's Facebook. Well, I say some of our plucky young reporters were the people who first identified this.
Third plucky of the app.
Yeah, well, apparently if you tell a joke 3 times.
Yeah, very good.
That was good.
And quick.
Brilliant.
And sort of thrown away.
He
like
did.
didn't
He
care
didn't
about
even
the
give a
response.
shit. Yeah,
Beautiful.
he's
No notes. No
Nothing
notes.
Waters down a compliment like it'd been horrifically patronising. So here are some of the posts that Paul Campbell had on his Facebook.
Oh.
So this one is a picture saying, should have gone to Specsavers, with a man seemingly posting a letter through a Muslim woman's veil, which is nice, isn't it? That's a nice thing to do. There's another one where he's got a dog wearing a towel over its head, which is called a barker, and it's a guide to dog owning for Muslim women, according to him.
Oh God! Oh God!
We're scrolling down. The next one is
Will, please.
he has shared a heavily edited, a completely fabricated, not heavily edited, picture of Jeremy Corbyn and Diane Abbott. I actually, when we put this in the newsletter, we blanked out most of it because it was obscene. Really, just horrible things to post. He's also repeatedly posted support for Tommy Robinson. Weirdly, he's also a top fan of Will Hayward's Facebook page.
Does that mean he engages with your Facebook page?
Yeah,
a lot
I don't
rather
think he
than-
just likes me.
Yeah.
Top fan.
So we put this out, and after Reform didn't comment on it at all, but after 3 days, his social media was still open. It was still all there. No, it was deleted. He then made it a private account.
Are we shocked?
I mean, where is he on the? He's not going to get in, is he? He's not going to be an MS.
No, but he is one of the 6 people
Yeah.
Reform wanted to represent in the Welsh capital.
And I remember when Dan Thomas was chosen as Reform leader, they said the vetting for the candidates was so stringent. We've rejected people because of the incredibly high standards of people we're choosing. Right? That's something that he was happy to say to the press of like, this is why we're professionalising the party. And then you have Elvis McGee who's posting these things and getting catfished.
There was other ones. Martin Roberts from Pontypridd Cynnon Merthyr had pictures of him with well-known members of the Welsh far right on his Facebook page. He then, in Facebook you've got like your 9 like main photos that kind of on the side. It was in there. When we went to comment, they didn't comment. They removed it from that, but the post remained up, so they didn't even take it down. They also...
I stand by it.
Imagine those phone calls of just like, can you please delete it? All right, what do I click here? And then you speak to your parents about trying to just like click. Just can you FaceTime and point your camera
so I
at
can
the screen so I can see? And then, can you see bottom left?
Yeah.
It must be so frustrating having to deal with this.
You see that guy who's a well-known Nazi?
Yeah.
Control
that
F
bit.
Nazi.
On the subject of Nazis, did you see Reform's office? What the office in
It
Caerphilly?
was vandalised again.
After the Caerphilly by-election, obviously somebody vandalised the front of the Caerphilly Reform Office saying now you can F off home. I don't know. We said fuck so many times.
Yeah, and this is where we draw the line. Yeah, so that was after or during the Caerphilly ballot.
That was
just
the day after.
So what's the recent one?
So on Reform's office in Caerphilly, it says Caerphilly needs reform, and someone had covered over the Caerphilly needs reform. They'd recovered over reform with the word fascism, but they'd actually done it quite neatly. So it actually...
Oh, it's not really right. Well, it's not.
They'd clearly done it to order.
So it looks like Reform are suggesting that Caerphilly needs fascism, and they're the people to... Is that's the joke, right?
Now, I'm presuming that this is vandalism, that Reform haven't just done a soft launch. But as they don't reply to anything, we don't know. I'm going to say I'm 99.9% sure that this was against Reform's will.
I know it's harder for you because you're a journalist and this is illegal, right? If vandalism is illegal and, nobody's property should be vandalised, right? Sure. But from my point of view, boo fucking who? Do you know what I mean? Because you cannot have these types of people out there doing all the Elvis guide, all of that, the letterbox, this, that and the other, and not expect people to have an emotional reaction.
Do you feel like that's something that's changed in the last sort of 10, 15 years? When... I remember there being discourse about how does the centre and how does the left deal with kind of fake news? How does it deal with the right being kind of incredibly spiky, for a lack of a better phrase, on that side? But is calling it out, is fighting fire with fire now the response that some people are doing?
Obviously, Reform will say we have a process where we keep the far right out of our party. They will aggressively push that on the idea that they're fascist or indeed far right, and that's something they've put forward really strongly.
It's been interesting now to see the candidate selection, and that was something that we've talked about for a while. It'd be really interesting to see the people that they are backing to be members of the Senedd. And I suppose the people that you've mentioned there, you've got people who are posing with people on the far right who are fascists. You've got people who are doing fascist Nazi salutes, who are then being defended by the leader of the National Party.
But there's another level to it because they're inciting hatred. Even if they say that we're not actively telling our members to go and do racist things, you are enabling it. And I know we do live in an individualist society where we're only responsible for what we do. But at the end of the day, if you are trying to seek representation of people in your country and you're saying this is what we think, the people who listen to you are then going to go and do awful things to people of colour or to gay people and this, that and the other. It is your responsibility.
I think we should really argue that the role of any political leader in any part of the political spectrum is to put forward a vision and bring people together.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between getting power and leading, isn't there?
Yeah.
And if you just want to acquire power, dividing and conquering is a very time-honoured way of doing it. If you want to be a real leader and you want to lead a nation, countries, especially ones like the United Kingdom, states like the United Kingdom, are very, very divided in lots of ways, both historically, culturally. It's made up of several nations, and it takes a particular kind of leader and a particular kind of rhetoric to bring those people together and point it in the same direction and heal social divisions. And I don't think you can argue that in the UK at the moment that parties like Reform are doing that. They're banking on that division.
With 4 weeks or so to go now, do you feel like it's going to get worse? I
don't know. I feel like if the fire was going to be any very hot, I think it would have been very hot by now. It's not like the Brexit vote. Do you know what I mean? At this point, where it was so hostile, for such a long time. I don't know if it will get any worse. I think people know who they're voting for by now in Wales. I don't think there are Reform fighting for every vote now. I think people know who they're voting for.
Do you think that part of it as well is just not enough people will care about the Senedd election for it to cut through?
That's what I was wondering. Maybe sort of the Welsh apathy to politics is beneficial in that sense that people aren't that as high a proportion aren't going to be as angry about it as well. But it's bleak. It's horrible to. I'm really sorry what that happened to you.
Yeah.
Also the P word.
Yeah. I mean, can we at least be accurate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's not try and put logic to that, to racism.
No, but, I think there is a growing comfortableness with that kind of language in Wales.
Ultimately, this shit matters. For lots of these politicians, they see it as a game that they're playing in order to secure a salary that is quite often beyond their abilities for another 4 years. And to them, it's okay to say something and say that the rhetoric of a party is a threat and then change and go across that party because it's just the game they're playing. But the problem is, this isn't just a personal spat between different people. This is how our country is run, and what they say and what they do sets the tone for what happens in communities all over Wales. And ultimately, societies are judged on how you treat the most vulnerable. And if what a lot of the time you're doing is scapegoating the most vulnerable, I think that's quite reprehensible.
Taking the personalities out of it completely, if they can't organise a piss up in a brewery at this point, imagine if they were to get a majority and they form the government, which is very likely, like how logistically are they going to run the government, like the nitty gritty, like working with the civil service, all this and the other? Like, do they have the cognitive ability
choosing cabinet positions? Can you imagine it'll be another
every time someone gets announced there'll be a defection, and then they won't have a majority and then the government will collapse.
But imagine the power. Imagine if it's on a knife edge and the power that those people have. I'll defect if you don't put me in the cabinet. You'll have
have them by the short and curlies.
Yep, it's there's loads more that we found. We're not going to go into it right now because there's lots to talk about, but it's exciting is the wrong word. It's a time.
It's a time. It's a spicy time, you might say. I'd say spicy.
I want to finish just with some polling from, so I'm laughing because I know I'm about to say, some polling from Friends of the Earth Cymru. That's not the funny bit. Friends of the Earth Cymru and YouGov. So they were talking about climate change, and there's a narrative which prevails on social media and certain corners of the internet that nobody cares about climate change. When actually the evidence is that most people do. Now, in this, it showed that across Wales, far more people are worried about climate change than are not worried about it. When it gets to 16 to 29-year-olds, 80% are worried compared to just under 20% who aren't. But actually, all age groups, more people are worried than aren't worried. The thing I thought was interesting was when it came down to how people feel about different kinds of green energy. So people ask whether they saw things as favourable or unfavourable.
Okay. I'm already quite excited about this, actually.
Overwhelmingly, the biggest thing that had more people favourable was solar. So 83% of people saw solar as favourable compared to like 10%.
Famously get a lot of sun in Wales, but go on.
They want more sun.
Other things that were really popular was offshore wind, onshore wind, and community-owned renewables.
Okay.
Nuclear was also more popular than not. So more people see it favourably. Something that people were very against was fracking. People really weren't favourable on fracking. But the thing that had the highest unfavourable ranking was coal. People don't like coal as a way of generating energy. Makes sense. Filthy way to generate energy. Really dirty. Like so awful for the community in which it's based, so awful for the people who work on it, and so awful for the planet. However, there was one group of people who bucked the trend. The percentage of people who were Green voters who had an unfavourable view of coal was 90%. 90% unfavourable. I don't know who the 10% who like coal are, who are voting Green. In Labour, like over 75% of Labour voters, unfavourable view of coal. Plaid Cymru, like over 70% unfavourable view of coal.
Yeah.
Even the Tories, 61% dislike coal compared to about 35% who don't. Reform, over 60% of people like coal. I don't understand how you can feel favourable about coal. Is it because Farage came out and said we're going to reopen coal mines, so you think, yes, it's good? Did he say it because his voters support opening coal? Is it a hangover from the valleys and people feeling favourable towards coal? But
if I'm being charitable, probably that last one, right? It's a throwback to a previous era of Wales and Britain.
When the rivers ran black.
This is such pick-me energy. I'm sorry. It's like, those pick-me, and I hate to gender this, but pick-me girls at school who are like, I'm just not like other girls. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I just like playing football with the boys. And like those other girls, I'm not like
demolish a burger.
Yeah. Oh my God, I eat burgers all the time. I don't even wear makeup. Oh my God, like those girls.
I low-key love coal.
Yeah, I low-key love coal so much. I'm just not like those other girls. It's exactly that. At this point, it's like, what can we do to be different?
Do you think so? Just anti-woke.
Just what's normal.
So therefore, yeah, okay. So everyone's kind of moving towards. It's net zero, right? The opposite of net zero is coal. It's 100% coal.
It's net coal.
A big net of coal. It's Nat King Cole. Yes, please. Great stuff.
I'm still obviously learning about what's funny, but that was very good.
Thank you.
It's that.
Thank you.
So yeah, I just thought interesting. Most people do give a shit about climate change. Most people do want their governments to do something about it, and only a very small group of people want more coal. For the commenters who say we focus too much on reform, next week we will be talking about the Labour and Plaid and Green manifestos.
Wonderful.
So there will be a split. It's just reform gave us so much content this week.
You did.
And you know where you can get more content? Our live show at Cardiff Glee Club, which is very nearly sold out.
Have we sold over 200 tickets?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, which is
Yes.
incredible.
So-
I mean, you say you can get them. Who knows by Thursday?
That's very true.
You
So
might not actually.
What's capacity at the Glee?
for what we're using, I think it's about 280. So because we need the big stage because we're ego driven and I've got a dance routine I want to debut. It's the latest dance from Paris.
Yes.
It's like 7-8 weeks away. So it's Saturday, May the 22nd, 23rd. 23rd.
We
Thank
get
you,
this
Daryl.
wrong so often.
Just fucking Google it.
Maybe
Yeah.
go both days in case we go the
Just
wrong
in
day.
case one, which will maybe 2 out of the 3 of us will be there at some point.
Camp outside.
Yes.
That'd be great.
It's basically an election debrief, isn't it? We're going
Yeah.
to deep dive into what we now know.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. It will be like in that time where it's still hot. Do you know what I mean? It's still there,
Mm-hmm.
but we've had a little bit of time to consume, debrief, process.
Yeah, for sure. So if you've been to a live show before, you know that we say things that we can't usually say on the edited podcast. So it will be cheeky and fun, and we do some silly fun and games as
Yeah.
well. And it's nice, and it's lovely to meet you all, and it's lovely to have like our community kind of come out.
Yeah.
So it's middle of the day matinee, which is great. It means
Yeah,
you
but
can,
it is lovely. Yeah.
And we could be joined by Wales's new First Minister, Jane Dodds.
Oh, that would be exciting, wouldn't it?
That would be just
exciting.
greyhound
how to
under her
pop
arm.
I don't know how to pop a Jane, though.
Oh, you always do.
I don't. No, I don't. I don't always.
She's been messaging us saying you've been mean to her. You've been
Well, then you-
targeting her.
Again.
In the meantime, your book is still out and it's brilliant.
Diolch.
Yeah,
For
I keep-
Wales. No, it's not. It's not called For Wales, See Wales. That's the podcast. It's called Who Cares About Wales?
I keep seeing people reading it in the wild, and I make them let me take photos of them so I can send it to Will. I do. It's always just like somebody minding their business. I'm like, I'm just going to take a photo of you if that's what. But I ask, and that's polite.
That is polite
Yes.
and legal.
Yeah, exactly. I love
So
legality.
clearly did a law degree. Well done you. And your newsletter is very, very good. And the content pre-election has been superb.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You guys on tour?
Robin's on tour.
I'm on tour. I've got a few dates left. I've got some Welsh ones left. What's left? Cardiff, Milford Haven. Cardiff gig is always weird because like a lot of people from my life come out and support at that gig. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But it feels like this is your life. So I've got
Oh.
school friends. I've got people I went to uni with. I've got mums on the school run. I've got enemies. You.
Yeah.
You guys. So it's very weird, and it does
Yeah.
mean the crowd work is quite difficult.
Yeah. It is a difficult one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
hometown gigs. I bet you feel it in ABBA.
Oh, I do. And I appreciate the support so much, but it is like my worst nightmare.
But sit at the back.
Yeah, if you please. And I'm like, oh, I'm your mum's friend. Do you remember that? No, leave me.
I changed your nappy.
Yeah, please. Oh my God, you've grown so much. Yeah, that does happen. Last time you saw me, I was 8.
That's funny.
You know?
You're in Machynlleth.
I am in Machynlleth on the Saturday night, so May the 2nd. I've got a big boy room again. So please come. The tickets are selling nicely, but you know, if more of you could buy them, that would be great. And thank you so much to everybody who listens, who's messaged to say that they're coming. It means a lot. And it will be just before the election, so I'll be frenzied with election fever.
Just throwing hot takes out.
Yeah, that's what the show is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hot takes.
Great.
But I'm really looking forward to it, so please come.
Nice. And we'll be back next week.
We will.
Yes. This is a Heyman Media production. They do podcasts, they do video, they do pictures. They are fantastic. If you have any commercial or personal needs for those sort of things, drop them a line. Heyman Media.
See you guys next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Ta-ra.